Hey everyone, it's Ally and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another Middle Eastern haul for you guys. I have 5 fragrances that I want to talk about that are newer to my collection. Some of these I've had a little longer, and yeah, that's what we're going to get into. I have 5 really amazing options that are going to be great for going into the colder season. All of these are more on the warmer side. Most of them I think are like gourmands, or gourmand-esque, but definitely really appropriate for like colder season. But before I get started, if you like this content, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot when you do, and I really do appreciate you guys being here with me today and just jibber jabbering about fragrances because I love to talk about scents and I got the nose of a truffle pig sometimes. I love to sniff things. I swear to God. I'm pretty sure I was a truffle pig in my past life because your girl likes to sniff things. And man, do I have a lot of stuff that I like to sniff. But besides the fact, let's get into the video. Starting with our first one that we're going to talk about. This is a highly talked about vanilla, especially in the fragrance community. When it first came out, it had quite a bit of hype. And that is none other than Vanilla Voyage by Mason Azar or Asar. It looks like this. I really like the bottle to this packaging. There's something really vintage about this. This reminds me of like something that I feel like I would have seen on my grandmother's vanity growing up. Like this sort of like classic vintagey sort of vibe. But honestly, like I'm not mad at it. Like I really love the packaging. This is so like simplistic and chic and just so pretty. And something about it has this sort of like time period of like the 80s to me, like something I'd expect to see on a vanity in the 80s. But I find it just so classy and just so fun. But what does this smell like? Well, this has notes of caramel. There's a butter note in this. Jasmine, honey, tonka bean, vanilla, musk, amber. And I've seen some people compare this to Bianco latte. That's the biggest comparison that I've seen people say. But to me, this is a beautiful vanilla fragrance. Almost dropped it. I almost dropped her, y'all. I got butterfingers up in here because of that butter note up in this. That's what I'm going to blame it on. That butter note. The sprayer on this, I don't know if you see that, but the sprayer on this is amazing. In the opening, you definitely get that vanilla. It is wham bam vanilla in your face. But what's so interesting about it is that it has a slightly like alcohol-y sense to it that reminds me a little bit of like vanilla extract. So it kind of opens up smelling like vanilla extract. As this starts to settle down, you start getting a little bit more of that caramel. It starts to smooth out. That butteriness starts to come through, and you get a little light floral, but it's not an overtly floral fragrance. To me, this is a vanilla bomb. If you love vanilla and you love smelling rich, delicious, and just yummy, this is a no-brainer. This is a beautiful vanilla fragrance that you can layer with just about anything. If you want to add some sweetness to a fragrance, this is something you would want to reach for. If you just want to, zhuzh it up and smell like a little bit more edible, this is a very edible smelling vanilla. The primary thing I smell, like I said, is the vanilla and this sort of buttery note because it adds a smoothness to it. But I will say the opening is rather sharp. But don't be deterred by that just because I say it's a sharp opening. It rounds out really quickly. This settles down really beautifully. This is a compliment getter if you like fragrances like Vanilla 28 from Kali, if you like Bianco Latte, stuff like that. Eclair from Latafa, then you're probably really going to enjoy this. I would say that the main thing I notice is that this is more buttery than those fragrances. And yeah, the opening, it's got a little bit of a sharpness to it. But if that doesn't bother you, then like this is a really great fragrance. I could see the hype behind this one and why it's so loved. Definitely worth checking out, especially going into the fall season or just the cold season in general. But this could work year round. Maybe a little much for like the dead of summer, like that intense summer heat. But if it's your vibe, just go light with the spray. Now, the next one that we're going to talk about is one that I had been wanting to get my nose on for quite a while. This one is called Nafish Shark. It is by Kadlaj. It looks like this. Really pretty bottle. Kind of looks like granite to me. This is supposed to be a dupe of Bachiami. I've never smelled Bachiami, so I'm not going to compare the two or pretend to compare the two, but I can go off of what this smells like, and that's what we're going to get into, y'all, because this is pretty. Now, this says apricot blossom, gardenia, vanilla. You've got pear, freesia, white woods, bourbon, vanilla, amber, and musk in the base. And before I get into this one, let me just let y'all know, if you get this and it is hot outside and they deliver it on a hot day or a warm day and you spray it, don't be shocked if you hate it. When I first got this, it was delivered to me on a hot day and the fragrance hadn't settled because it had been in transit and the bottle was warm. I sprayed this. It was sharp. It was abrasive. All I got was this bourbon vanilla sharpness to it. It was screechy. It was very off-putting. Very off-putting. I let this sit in a cool, dark place for a few hours and revisited it, and it started rounding out. After a week, it started to become really beautiful. This one, you really have to let it settle and do its thing and just like give it some time to chill, because you might get it, and if it's warm out or if any heat is applied to the juice in this, it's going to smell off. So keep that in mind. And if you get this and you're immediately like, I hate it, give it time, let it sit, because now that it's had time, this is really beautiful. It has a big similarity. I know it's compared to Bachiami, but this has a big similarity to, if you're familiar with Aaron Terrence Hughes fragrances, there was a fragrance that he released called Goddess that was a gardenia forward fragrance. This has that same scent profile as Goddess from Aaron Terrence Hughes. Although Aaron Terrence Hughes fragrances are nuclear, Goddess was nuclear, and it was like wham bam gardenia in your face, like this candied sugared sort of gardenia fragrance. I get a very similar vibe, but this is like a more like toned down, demeanored version of that fragrance. This is really pretty. If you are a fan of gardenia, then I think you're really going to enjoy this. The gardenia is the star note player in this. It is floral. It is beautiful. You have the sweetness of this sort of apricot blossom that adds a little bit of a fruitiness mixed in with that pear. So, so pretty. And then that bourbon vanilla in the base really smoothed out the longer I've had this. It is warm. It is floral. There's something really intoxicating and kind of comforting about this fragrance. I don't know why this fragrance reminds me of like the essence of a mother. It reminds me of my mom. There's just something really comforting and just like grown about this fragrance. It is really, really pretty. Again, I'm glad I let it sit in my collection and do its thing and sort of calm down, because the juice was it was giving crackhead vibes up in this bottle. I was like, ooh, she's so pretty. And then I sprayed her and I was like, what in the crackhead? Not anymore. She's gone to recovery. She is doing better. She has earned her chips and she is here to stay. I really, really love her. Definitely look into this one if you love a sort of floral, fruity vanilla fragrance that has depth, character, and just smells really classy and beautiful. This is a perfect signature scent, and it could be worn year round, but I think it's going to be really beautiful in the fall time. Really excited to have this one. Ooh, Vanilla Voyage, I forgot to mention, this lasts forever on skin. This is nuclear. This one, not as much, maybe like 5 to 6 hours, but this one does, it is softer. I'm hoping that this one will sort of get better with longevity the longer I've had it in my collection. But right now, as it stands, not the best, but also not horrible. And for the price, girl, I ain't mad. Beggars can't be choosers, y'all. Beggars can't be choosers. That's all I'm gonna say. The next one that we're gonna talk about is from the house of Lattafa, and this one is called Artisan Ethnique. Tongue twisters with some of these names. First off, let's just get the elephant out of the room. I hate the bottle. I think it's so ugly. Like, what is this? What is this? Why didn't you just make a bottle that looked like this? I would have, this is doing the most, but honestly, I would have preferred it rather than like having this like raised picture of a bottle, or I don't even know what this is. It looks like something. I'm not even gonna say it because you're probably thinking it, you sicko. But I'm not gonna say it. But you were thinking it. So, but it looks weird, is what I'm getting at, and I'm not a fan of this bottle. But the fragrance, well, the fragrance is pretty nice. I don't mind it. It is a very vanilla forward fragrance. Again, something great for fall time if you're looking for fall fragrances. This is supposed to be a dupe of Sugar Addict. Now, I've never smelled Sugar Addict, so I'm not going to compare the two, but I will talk about what this one smells like. You've got notes of rum, sugar, caramel. You've got cacao. You've got cinnamon, coffee, cashmere, labdanum, tonka bean, vanilla. This has got a lot of gourmand notes in it. And upon initial spray, I will say, it's a little much. It's a little intense. It's very sugary, sweet, and a little sharp. And I wasn't the fan of it on the initial spray. What I did find is that if I douse myself in this, I love it. A small spray on my wrist wasn't enough to really gauge what this was going to smell like, because I think the beauty of this fragrance is to be covered in the fragrance and then let the sillage do the work for you. Because just one spray is not going to be enough to sort of gauge what it really smells like. When you do like multiple sprays and then you create this sort of scent bubble with this fragrance, that's where it becomes really addictive. It becomes very like, I don't know, like a jelly vanilla candy. That's the best way to describe it. There are these like Mexican candies that I grew up eating, and they were like these little jello sticks. Um, and they were like three flavors or like four flavors usually in the bag, like a white stick, a pink stick, and a yellow stick. I think those were the three flavors. This smells like what those taste like this creamy jelly, sort of vanilla sort of candy. It's really, really nice. I definitely still get this sort of boozy facet from it, but when you do like a bunch of sprays of this and sort of like create a sillage bubble, it is actually really, really pretty. You do get a little bit of that booziness. It's almost like you took those candies and dipped them in like a drink, or used those candies as a straw for like a rummy drink. It's really, really yummy. I was honestly kind of surprised by this one. I wasn't sure what to expect other than I knew I wasn't gonna like the bottle. But this is actually really nice. The projection on this is about, it's a good like almost 2 feet for me. It projects like a beast. The sillage on this is beautiful. The longevity on this is insane. Spray this on your clothes. You will smell it forever. Spray it on your skin about 7 to 8 hours or so. But clothes, man, 12 plus. This will cling onto clothes and it smells really nice. But this is one of those fragrances that I feel like might be a little polarizing. You're either going to really love it or you're going to really hate it. But this is one that you have to play around to see how it's going to work for you. Like I said, for me, the best way that it worked for me was to spray it all over me. I did about 5 sprays, and the sillage created from that, spectacular. Spectacular. The one spray on my arm, had I just done the one spray and smelt it, I would have been super deceived by this one because I did not like what a single spray of this smelled like. This is one that I had to spray all over. Just keep that in mind. Play around with your fragrances. Sometimes you just never know until you actually like play around with them. Now the next one that I'm going to talk about is one that this fragrance has me in a chokehold. Like, when I tell you that this reminds me of one of my favorite fragrances of, I think, all time, this reminds me of a more unisex version of that fragrance. And it has me like, daddy. Like, oh, it has me like, it has me. And that is Mhall Fort. This one is from Lattafa. I mean, the bottle on this is insane, first off. Just look at the bottle. This looks like, if I put it on a counter, it looks like it would just be part of like, of a decoration. I would never guess that this was a perfume looking at this. It is so pretty. Like, once the juice runs out, I'm probably going to buy a backup bottle, but I'm definitely going to save this and just put it as a little decoration. Because, like, look at this. The bottle is heavy. It's ornate. It is like this coppered bronze sort of like building. It is absolutely stunning. I love everything about this bottle. It's doing the most, but it's doing it so right in my opinion. I'm not mad at it. And you guys, oh my god. If you loved or if you love a spiced fragrance, this is going to be perfect for you. Pimento, cardamom, caramel, cedarwood. Ooh, girl, you got vanilla, amber, and musk. This to me smells like Changing Constants from Penhaligon's. People also compare this to Minuet et Demi from Fragrance du Bois, the Demi Rawlings collab, which I own that one. I had it when it first came out. I ended up selling the bottle. Didn't really care for it. But those two are sweeter. They have a more caramel note to them, but this smells just like Changing Constants. But if you tone down the caramel note to make it more unisex leaning instead of feminine, because Changing Constants leans a bit more feminine in my opinion because it is sweeter. This is toned down in the caramel and the spice is a little bit more pronounced. And this is absolutely spectacular, especially if you're balling on a budget and you don't have the money to put down for Changing Constants, because that bottle, she pricey, y'all. This is a comparable dupe that is so worth the money, you guys. This, oh, man, to tell you the obsession that I have with this, my boyfriend sprayed it on himself. He was obsessed and he was like, I want that fragrance. And I was like, the hell you're not. The hell we're not. No, sir. Hell no. This one is staying with me in my collection. This is my baby. I love her. I love everything about her. She is sexy. She is spiced. She smells like fall. In the opening, you get that pimento and that cardamom. And it just sort of stays there. Like, the caramel develops a bit more, but it never becomes overtly sweet. It's like a dry caramel, if that makes sense. You know how sometimes you get like fragrances that are sweet and it's like a dry sweetness? This is a dry sweetness as well. I get the spice, but it's so well-rounded and smooth. And you get that caramel, but it's very subdued and kind of like a dry caramel. It's not overtly sweet in any way. And that's why I think this is like perfectly unisex. If you are a fan of Changing Constants, then you really need to look into this fragrance, because I think you will be pleasantly surprised. This has blown me away. Lataffa. I'm gonna call you La Daddy because you have me in a chokehold as well. Perfection in a bottle. Get this for fall time, especially if you are a fan of Changing Constants. You can't go wrong, y'all. You cannot go wrong. Now, the last one that we're going to talk about, this one blew my socks off. This one was from French Avenue. And this one is called Veneno Scarlet. Veneno means poison in Spanish. So scarlet poison. Oh, I'm gonna drink it. Mama's ready to ascend. Jesus, do you need another angel? Because I'm coming. That's annoying. But, you guys, this is supposed to be a dupe of Venom Incarnate. And I mean, just look at the bottle. Whoa. And then the back. Dang, girl. Doing the most, but I'm not mad. This is giving me like Killian vibes, if you know what I mean. And the box that this came in was insane. Like the box, the whole presentation for this fragrance, wow. Doing the most, but I was here for every single second of it. You've got blackberry, caramel, strawberry, cinnamon, cedar, raspberry, caramel, leather, tonka bean, fir, vanilla, and patchouli. And you guys, this smells so gorgeous. My girls out there that want a nighttime sexy, like va-va-voom vixen sort of fragrance, look no further. This is it. She is that girl. This is the fragrance that I didn't know I needed, but is so beautiful. I have never smelt Venom Incarnate before, but this is a 10 out of 10. This is done right. This is such a beautiful fruity leather fragrance. And the leather in this is very subdued. There's a little bit of spice because of that cinnamon, but it adds this sort of sensuality to the fragrance. And there is patchouli and fir, not fir like dog fur, but fir like fir balsam, the tree. Man, this is so smooth and sweet. You definitely get an implosion of berries. There's a lot of berries in this. The blackberry, the strawberry, the raspberry. I can't really pinpoint what berry I'm smelling. It just smells like an amalgamation of berries. But like, whoop, I'm like dropping everything. I'm out here just yeeting everything. Man, this is so beautiful. This to me smells like what I picture Dita Von Teese to smell like. This smells like a girl from the movie Moulin Rouge. It's seductive. It's mysterious. This gives Lady in Red vibes. This is such a sexy fragrance. And don't let that leather note scare you. The leather note is a backseat player. It's definitely there, but it adds this smoothness and uniqueness to the fragrance. Primarily what I'm getting in this is a sort of like spiced berry vanilla fragrance that is so beautiful. If you want to smell elegant, sexy, mysterious, that girl with the red lip vibe, Miss Moulin Rouge, Miss Dita Von Teese, Miss Showgirl. Man, this is it. This is so gorgeous. This is grown. This is sexy. This is mysterious. I think a lot of people in like their early 20s might not appreciate this for what it is, but mid to late 20s and up, man, you're probably going to be in love with this. This is going to be that nighttime fragrance that you didn't know you needed that just smells absolutely stunning. And the sillage on that bad boy, gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at any one of these fragrances. If there was one that I would say definitely get, and this is subjective, I would go with my Changing Constance dupe because that is like one of my favorite fragrances. But honestly, all of these I highly recommend, especially going into fall. Get you some of this. Get you some of the smell good. You deserve it. Treat yourself. The state of the world right now is terrifying. We might as well, if we're going to go down, smell good doing it. That's my thought process on it. I don't know. Don't quote me. Don't judge me. Don't come for me. And for those of you in the back screaming about the demonic toys in the background, grow up. Grow up. What are you, 5? What are you, 5? Does this look demonic to you? And if the answer is yes, then grow up. You probably grew up thinking Pokemon was demonic and so were Furbies. And look at what happened with that. Nothing happened. Grow up, you guys. Like, I don't want to hear it. And if I stutter or like I mispronounce something, like, calm down, y'all. Calm down. Oh, sorry. I said extreme instead of extrate. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I misspoke. I was also sick. You make me want to choose violence, but you know what? I'm a pacifist, so I'm gonna let it go. I forgive you. Because that's the way I am. Forgiven. I've ascended. I read a self-help book. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to catch y'all later. Bye.